The information in this video is provided for informational and educational purposes only.
Welcome to Dose of Deanne, where you'll get a little shot of what my life is like living with SMA. And today we're talking about shots, specifically the COVID vaccine. I want to start off by saying individual results will vary, and this is just my unique story. But I wanted to share with you guys why I got the COVID vaccine, how I got the COVID vaccine, and what it was like to get the COVID vaccine. So let's start off by talking about why. As you know, COVID has a very big respiratory component. And for those of us with SMA with weakened breathing muscles, it can be very dangerous because I know I have trouble clearing secretions. So if I get sick, I usually get really sick. Now I have had COVID and it was very mild. But because it was so mild, I want to be sure I have resistance for if I got a more serious version of it. So that's why I got the vaccine. And I've been on a ventilator before, and it's no fun. So I don't want to go there again. How I got the vaccine is pretty interesting, I think. You would think being in a high-risk category would automatically make me eligible to get the vaccine. Unfortunately, it's up to the states on how vaccines are given out. In the state where I live, it's very much based on your age. I think you can get one now if you're 65 and older. And if you're a healthcare worker, I think if you're a teacher or in the education system, and there's a few other categories, but being younger and high risk is not among them. If I lived in a congruent setting, like a nursing home or assisted living, it would be a different story. But since I live alone, I probably wouldn't qualify until April or May to get the vaccine. Fortunately, one of my jobs is through an eye clinic. Therefore, I technically was considered a healthcare worker. So I used that loophole to get my vaccine. So I encourage you guys, if you are looking for a vaccine, check into other requirements that may not be your disability. Maybe you volunteer for an organization and so you would be considered a healthcare worker. I don't know. Or maybe a secondary condition would make you eligible. So check into different options and even maybe check into neighboring states if it's an option for you to travel. I know some people have gone to North Dakota. They have very less rigid restrictions on giving out vaccines there, for as far as compared to Minnesota. So just check into various options and find what's right for you. As far as getting the vaccine, I got the Pfizer version, and the first dose, it was just like any other vaccine. My arm was sore for maybe a day or two, but that was it. I didn't have any other side effects. And on the second dose, my arm was even less sore, and I had no side effects. My mother, who's over 65 and technically a caregiver, also received her vaccine. She received the Moderna version. Again, after the first shot, she just mentioned having a slightly sore arm. But after the second shot, she did feel kind of punk for a day or two. But she still thinks it's worth it for the protection that the vaccine gives. So that's my experience with the vaccine. And if you'd like to share your experience or if you're still seeking the vaccine, I'd love to hear about it. You can head on over to the forums at SMA News Today /forums. We have a lot of conversations going on around the vaccine. Like, what would you do after you get the vaccine? Are you going to still stay home in hibernation? Or are you going to venture out a little more? We'd love to hear all of your thoughts and feedback on that. So head on over to the forums and we'll talk to you again soon. Bye for now.